Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Only Trade to Win. I do not know which way the market is going tomorrow or the next week, and I do not provide any buy or sell recommendations. But what I do have is a methodology that took 25 years to put together, and the intent of this show is to share with you how a professional trader thinks so you can implement it and become profitable on your own. And as always, we go to check and update our spreadsheets, and after that we look at the pictures. So this is what we left off at the end of 2023, and we said we're going to take a week or two and see what the market does to get a better idea instead of continuing trading from the end of December into this year. And again, we talked a lot about all the performances. One thing that we noticed was a big surprise. If you look at column number 5 by Russell 2000, that moved up 9.9% in December, overtaking the Dow in the race for the end of the year. Now, it was still the weakest index out of the 4 major indexes we're following, finishing about 25% off its all-time highs. I went ahead and I updated the numbers for this year, and basically we are in a little more than 2 weeks into 2024, and column number 4 shows the change for the year. So Nasdaq is leading again, up 3.82%. The S&P is up 1.5%. Dow is pretty much unchanged, and our sick man Russell is sick again and is negative almost 5% in just about 2 weeks. Here is the end of the year for our stocks. One thing that we noticed at the end of last year was that Apple stalled, and being a leader of this whole rally, it did not participate in the rally, and it pretty much finished unchanged for the month. And Microsoft also, after reaching all-time highs, it took a pause and consolidated, finishing unchanged for the month of December. So those two would be interesting to update and see what happened to them this year. And Nvidia and Meta finished on fire. Again, I went ahead and I updated the stocks for this year, and what a surprise. Look at this. Nvidia is leading again, up almost 19% in just 2 weeks. Meta is up 8%, pushing up against its all-time highs. And Microsoft, after consolidating for a few weeks, breaks out and is looking at that $400 mark. So we start with indexes. Here is our leader, Nasdaq. The dashed line is a previous all-time high. We are trading above. This is a weekly picture, and Nasdaq is breaking out, and hopefully it will run away into its all-time high territory. Our next up is Apple. The stock was downgraded by 3 analysts just last week, and after 3 downgrades, it was able to pull back about 9%. And after being up over 50% last year, a small pullback on 3 downgrades shows that the stock is actually still very, very strong. On our way up here in November, we said that this area right here is a major value area for Apple, and after making all-time highs, it came back down to this area, was downgraded, and actually traded deeply below our value area. Yet in here you can see a lot of green bars, meaning that the buyers were actually in control. In here we rejected the second time. We double touched this low, rejected it, and ran away, and now we're trading above that area of value. So our working assumption is that Apple is going to challenge its all-time highs. It's going to challenge the $200 mark, and it's going to make another run. And if it violates this area right here, then we're going to see if it's going to go down and test that $165 area. But right now, the red area was rejected. The stock is trading above its area of value, and it looks like it's going to go and make a run for the $200 mark. Our next stop is Amazon.com. It's not as strong as our other stocks. It's one of the weaker ones, sitting about 20% under its all-time high that was set back in 2021. But the stock is well off its lows set back in December of last year. You can see right here it's up 80%, and it's steadily making its way to the last resistance area around $166, and after that it will be looking at its all-time high. So Amazon is steady, slowly grinding up. Next up is Google. It is sitting just a few points off its all-time high. There is not much to say about this except this is a very strong stock, and we're going to see what it's going to do once it gets above its all-time high. Will it be able to break away and run away like the Microsoft and the Dow did at the end of last year? Or will it be just like Apple, making a new high barely and then selling off into its downgrades? In any case, it's really strong. We just wait and see. Our next stop is Microsoft. Microsoft. The stock was the leader last year, setting all-time highs, being the first one to set all-time highs out of them all, with NVIDIA following it. It had a phenomenal breakout here of $344, just running away. Another 30 points, 10%, which is huge for a stock the size of Microsoft. And now, after consolidating for a few weeks, it has another massive breakout. After stock travels 67% in about 10 months, then it makes all-time highs and consolidates horizontally like this. It shows that the stock is very strong. In other words, what we're looking for is a pullback down, counter trend, but it is not even able to come in. And this explosive move up is the confirmation that it is really strong. So we had a huge move up in all-time highs. This stock could not come in for about 3 weeks. Here is another move, and we just wait and watch. It will try to challenge the $400 area, and if it gets above it, then it's going to be another exciting run. So if you're in Microsoft, just enjoy the ride. It looks really beautiful. Now we have 2 stocks left on our list. Meta is our 2023 comeback champion, and NVIDIA is our 2023 champion overall. Our last year comeback champion, Meta, the stock that has proven that anything is possible in the market. After being beaten down more than 75% in 2022, you can see it from number 1 to number 2. It reversed, and in 1 year, it went from number 2 to where it is right now, up 321%. Now, this truly is an amazing example, and I really don't think I can stop talking about this. And Meta is trading above its all-time highs. This is phenomenal. 2 months ago, when I mentioned that money managers will get paid when Meta makes its all-time highs, I think it was part of a joke, but as they say, there is truth in any joke. And when I was looking up thinking that we have 30% to go, and it already made it more than 100, and why not? And look at this. Once we got above this 340, 350 area, our last resistance, there's just nothing on the way up there. And now we're in the all-time high territory. I am pretty certain that with a turnaround right like that, a lot of money managers are still not in the stock, and they're actually getting into it and driving it higher. But it will be a really exciting year for Meta. And if you own the stock, enjoy the ride. Our last stop is our overall 2023 champion, and it looks like it's a champion this year again, up 19% in just 2 weeks of trading. NVIDIA. We looked at this stock last year and said that with growth and numbers like they're putting up, this should be an $830 stock. So let's just put this price target that I have, $830, right here in our column number 5. So we'll have it for the record, 588 to 830. Yeah, it can do it. So based on everything that we saw today, there is a lot of strength in the market and in the stocks on our watch list, except one, and that is Tesla. It's a pretty rough start for the company, being down 15%. But as we mentioned last year, Tesla is a very volatile stock, and it's normal for it to be up 100% and then down 60 and then up another 100. So it is definitely the weakest stock. It is the stock that stopped participating in the rally by setting its 52-week high in the summer, when all other stocks set their 52-week highs last December. And again, it's been lagging for a while, even though it put up great numbers in the end of last year. All those numbers came from first half of the year. But again, we are looking at another phenomenal year. NVIDIA is strongest. Meta is right behind it, with Microsoft trying to penetrate that $400 area and become a $500 stock. And seeing so much green and all these all-time highs, it definitely feels like we are in the bull market. Until I see you next time, navigate with care.